Warning.
Morning Wednesday. Warning Wednesday. Happy Warning Wednesday. Forget all the other words. Happy Warning Wednesday. Let's just get right into it.
I didn't even like.
It's okay. It's all right. It's Warning Wednesday. That's all we need to know.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. We've got something very special in store for you guys today. This is a donation request from Guy.
Thank you, Guy.
Rock, you are awesome. And this is gonna be such a blast. And all you Warning Army out there, get your popcorn and your drinks and your gummy bears or whatever you like. I like my gummy bears.
This is like a power sesh, like
got
an hour-long power sesh.
Yep, an hour-long interview, but I'm sure all y'all are here for it because these are our ladies.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. I'm ready to get started. Why are we still talking?
All right, well, we're gonna jump right into it. Before we do, y'all know the drill. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button because fun fact, last time I checked the stats, 88% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed.
I mean, I don't think that's very fun.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
you know
come on.
what I mean?
I have faith in you guys.
Come on, hit that
easy.
subscribe button.
It's free.
Really, it's free.
Yeah.
It's totally free. So hook us up and let's jump right into it.
Thank you.
This is
The Warning, interview with AllisonHagendorf.
all right. The Warning tell Allison about opening for Muse and the secret weapon of their sibling magic.
This can be the most we've heard them talk ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. The TED Talk was, I don't remember how long it was, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, good
but
point.
it was long.
Yeah.
But they also performed in that one. This, I think, is
Yeah.
just an interview. So
Yeah.
let's check it out.
Ladies, I'm so excited you're here. I have been following you for years now, and to have you in LA and to sit down, I'm so pumped. There's just so much I want to congratulate you on.
I like that
and
room.
just-
Yeah.
And also, I was admiring your Misfits tank. This is
Thank you.
phenomenal.
I got it from a fan. Shout out to that fan. Thank you for the tip.
Best fan gift.
Yeah.
I know.
I was never a Misfits
I
fan.
love that.
I was
We're
never into
honored
the
to be
punk
here.
like
Thank
that.
you so much
Yeah,
for
for
having
having
us. This is
us.
like,
Oh,
So cool.
oh,
so happy
I am
to
honored
make
to have
it.
you guys here. Now, tell me why you're in LA, what you guys have been working on.
ooh,
Okay.
okay. Oh, are you gonna?
Okay.
So we're here in LA. Basically, we're gonna write a lot. We're experimenting. We're in that like era in our careers where we just want to try everything,
Yes.
new things, and we're so used to writing between each other. That's
Just
it.
us.
That's
So
it.
like it's our first like dip into co-writing and it's been
Wow.
fun.
Yeah.
LA is the place to do it. And we haven't had the time to write. We've been touring for
Nonstop.
2022
Yes, you
was
are.
nonstop. It was over 100 shows. So now there's like a little
Wow.
window of time we have before touring starts this year. So we're like, okay, let's go to LA and write.
Let's find out what we can do.
Going on.
Let's go.
So wait, I need to hear more about these co-writing sessions. So how has it been going?
Same.
That's a whole new dynamic and chemistry. you
And
know?
who?
I mean,
Who is
First
it?
of all, the fact that you guys are sisters writing together, it's like a very intimate, comfortable dynamic. So now you're in the room with strangers. It's a little bit like a first date, but it's the three of you together.
Right? Yeah, we talked about it. This is like speed dating.
Speed dating.
We've been here for has it been 9 days?
I think so. I don't even know.
It's been like one team per day. Like we meet new people every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like going into the room and saying like, "Hi, I'm Paulina." And
How do you get
these
a
are my
connection
darkest
like
fears.
that?
Let's write about them. It's just really weird. You're doing that every
Like, that doesn't even sound fun
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like,
How do you-
production and we're going to set you up with this, and this, and you're going to do this. This doesn't sound like being an artist and just doing what you want to do.
Well, from what
I mean, we haven't heard everything.
what
yet,
it
but-
sounds like maybe is that they're interviewing the writers because she's talking about it being like speed dating, right? So maybe they're just trying to see if there's like a vibe and then they go off into some like
Yeah.
cool inspirational place. You can't write like that.
I know. I sure hope that's what's going on because,
Yeah.
you know, it just makes me curious because how long are they going to be in LA for? How long are you going to do the speed dating before you find someone and then start? You know, like they're running out of time. That's
Maybe
why
they're like already in parallel writing their own stuff, but they're just
Yeah.
hoping to like put that person in for the future. I don't know.
maybe we'll get the answer if I would slow down and
know.
let them talk.
All these answers we want to know
I
right
know, 'cause
now.
I'm already like, man,
Yeah.
this does not sound fun. And as an artist, I wouldn't want to do that. Like
Well,
that
maybe
sounds
we'll
too
learn more.
fast. But I want to. Yeah, we'll figure out what
every
happens.
day with new people. Sometimes you vibe, sometimes you don't. But all the sessions have been great.
Yeah, they have been
We've met
great.
some great people, and it's just been really fun, very new.
And
Very
we've got to learn a lot from them, which is,
Yeah.
I think, the most important thing. What you can like grasp and then get to do your own thing with it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely been an experience.
An adventure.
Yes, an adventure.
It's definitely a character building exercise. Like you said, like going and meeting someone and then becoming as vulnerable as possible so you actually get great art to create.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like a back and forth because you're explaining your situation. They're like, oh, I've been through, and then they just like, it's like a trauma dumping session.
Yeah,
but
it's
in
therapy.
the healthiest way possible. It's just really nice.
It's a healthy
Yeah,
therapy
you relate.
session.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now I love that it's the three sisters. I am one of three sisters, so I as soon as I heard about you guys, I felt very connected, and I'm very close with my sisters. I think it's beautiful that you guys have been making music together, and I want to learn a little bit about like the earliest days with you guys, because obviously your parents played a huge role introducing music to you in general, and then supporting you in your dreams.
Yeah, so we grew up in a very musical household. Our parents are not musicians. They're just music lovers. So we, how do you say, inculcaron? They like shared
They
that
brought us up like
with a love of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brought us up. That's
There we
the
go.
word,
Yeah.
I think. And music was always just playing around the house, and we really loved it. And just like parents like put their kids in like soccer classes.
What
or
music was playing around the
Yeah,
house?
she's gonna ask,
Our
I'm
parents
sure.
were like piano lessons. Just
Let's go.
like go
Yeah.
have fun.
That's what you always start with, piano
we,
lessons.
We started
So
out like
boring.
that. We
Well, for me.
classically trained classical music, piano.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then our parents bought the video game, the Rock Band.
Yes.
And
That was it.
that's where we found our thing. We were really
Yes.
like, I forget how young we were.
were
I felt
really
really
young.
grown up at the time.
Yeah.
I was 6.
I was about to say, there's 6.
I was 3.
I was 3.
You couldn't even hold up a freaking.
Like, do you remember this?
I remember
She's so
watching
cute. I
them
was
play 'cause
3
I was so
talking
young.
about
I couldn't
it.
even carry like the plastic guitar to
Yeah.
play the
No,
rock
no,
band.
no.
So I just watched them play all the time. That's
Yeah.
that's what I did when I was 3. I watched them play the rock band.
along.
Yeah, I did.
I
did.
love that. Aw. So Rock Band, you guys were great at it. But you can still be
Yes.
great at Rock Band and not decide that you're going to make this your life, you know? So what was it that was that point where like, okay, this is what we're doing?
You know, I think it's what we saw in the Rock Band more than like actually like playing it. Like it looks so fun to be on the stage. Everyone was just like cheering. It was like I want to be part of that. So even though we had never done it before, I was like, Dad, I want to play the guitar. And he's like, Are you sure your fingers are gonna hurt? I was like, Yeah.
Aw.
But one week I was just like, please no. It hurt so much.
Right.
But no, then it was just because I started classic guitar.
acoustic?
Like I started like an acoustic guitar with
Yes.
not nylon strings. The other ones, I forgot how they're called.
Steel.
I guess.
I don't know anything about
much.
those
I was
Was
just
it like the calluses?
Yes, I had like my fingers were horribly,
Beat
yeah.
Did it the right
But then there
way.
was no going back. Literally, we loved what we did, but we didn't play
wonderful.
together.
No, at
No,
all.
we did.
I
At
play the
all.
drums separately. Danny
Yeah.
played her guitar. Ale was still not playing anything. She was playing the piano.
I played the piano.
But like years later,
She's 3.
Ale like had an interest in the bass, so she started playing the bass by herself. Like we didn't play together. That wasn't
No.
a thing ever. Sometimes we played like the piano together,
Yeah.
but like guitar and drums, that wasn't a thing. But then Ale started playing the bass, and we're like,
Wait a
like,
second.
we can play together.
Oh.
And we
That's
started
cool.
Yeah.
learning cover songs, just playing songs that we liked, and playing like at our school and stuff like that. And then we started
saw.
recording these covers and uploading them to YouTube. We recorded Enter Sandman,
Right.
which went viral.
That's the one.
And it was like when we started getting these very big opportunities that you wouldn't expect to get at that age, just starting out. It was like, oh my God, like their dreams are coming true. Let's do this for real. And I think that was the turning point. We're
And
just like,
when we eventually started making our own music, that even became more
That was
legit.
it.
Yeah, I was just like,
That
all
was it.
right, let's go.
So when the Enter Sandman cover
awesome.
came about, how old were you guys then? Was it like 9
Stop,
to
pause.
like
We have to do a little test. We just saw this. How old were they?
I'm going to say Danny was 13.
I'm going to say 12, 10, and 8 or 7. I always forget the timeline with Ali's birthday, but
All right.
we'll see if I'm
14?
who's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 14.
14.
I was 12 and I was 9.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you guys really created your own luck, right? Because it was a preparation and opportunity meet. You had been practicing. You had been honing your crafts. I mean, how intense was your practicing at this point? Like, you guys were pretty dedicated musicians.
Very, very
Every
much
day.
so.
I don't
Hours
remember
a
how
day.
many hours.
Yeah,
but
me
it was
all the
neither.
time.
We
more than a
practiced
couple hours
all the
every
time.
day. And it was like you
Yeah.
come back from school, you would practice, then you would do your homework, and then you would practice the other instrument. Like
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It was
And we had
a
our
full
lessons.
schedule thing.
And our parents like really pushed us to it because you're a kid. At
Yeah.
one point, you're gonna be like, "No, I want to play with my toys." It was like practice, and that like we learned how to be disciplined like, in our craft since we were really young. So I feel like we've just been really lucky throughout our whole careers, and we've gotten these amazing opportunities. But it's that discipline that we've had throughout our whole lives that like makes us take advantage of these opportunities to the fullest.
Yes.
And we're
And
really
also,
grateful for that.
They
and
got some
also
great
from
parents.
discipline, we
Yeah.
are very stubborn. When we didn't get a part, it was just like, I'm staying here until I play it right.
Yeah, I bet.
We're just like, I want to be able to play this.
It's funny because this just makes me think of when I was playing guitar, when I was learning. Pantera is what I was listening to because Dimebag was a huge influence. And the pinch harmonics this dude did, whee! It was amazing. But I could never do it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I remember laying in my bed for the longest time with the guitar on my lap, just trying to do this thing. And I ended up falling asleep. And I woke up, I don't know, it was like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, TV still on, guitar still right on my chest. And like I woke up and I was like, and I did it like 2 or 3 times and instantly did it.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like, are you kidding me?
Maybe you
like,
just needed a little break.
But I know that, you know, like practicing over and over until you get it.
Yeah.
And I still didn't get it. I had to go to sleep to get it.
Aw, I like
That's
that
just,
story.
It's fun to just hear
Yeah.
that because it just makes me think like, I know, I relate, you know, I know what it takes to really get there.
Yeah.
So when did
That's
you actually
cool.
become TheWarning? Like
Oh.
the official band?
The
Official
warning.
band. Okay, so we recently just turned 10 years as a band.
That is
Yes.
unbelievable.
But it's like half of my life.
Yeah, more than half of my life. Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
what?
That's crazy. How
I want
cool.
Allison to talk more.
Unbelievable.
It
It's
is.
wonderful.
I'm sure
guys.
she will.
Wonderful.
And our first gig was at a Christmas party at our school.
Yes.
But like the first time we used the name TheWarning, it was like a battle of the bands.
type of event.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember
But
what it was.
every single band had a name but us. So we're just like, well,
Oh,
we have to name
that's
our,
gonna be
our
the
How
name.
did you come up with that?
we would daydream about having an album
Yes.
and it was called TheWarning. And it was
Aw,
like
that's
the,
great.
like just for now name.
Yes.
We're like, we're gonna change it later. No, like we didn't love it. It was not like,
Yeah.
oh my god, we're called
The
TheWarning.
Warning.
Yes. It was like we
No one
don't
ever
have
loves their
another
name in the
option
beginning.
right now.
So,
That's gonna be it. But then we went viral and everyone was like, oh, TheWarning. So it was like,
well,
we'll
we're
stick with
keeping
TheWarning. Okay.
Yeah.
A name is what you make of
Yeah,
it.
we love
It's
it. It's a good
Yeah.
name.
We've grown with
It's
it.
a great name.
Yeah.
When you did go viral, did you feel the
Yeah.
pressure to really like quadruple down and like now just take advantage of this momentum? Like, was there a pressure?
I feel like
know
I
what?
don't,
I don't
remember,
remember.
like that.
No,
I feel like
'cause
as a kid, I was just like, well, this is my life now.
Yeah,
but like,
we were so young that we really didn't understand the concept of like
yeah.
what happened and like going
viral.
viral. We
Right.
didn't really understand it. We were just like suddenly we had more interviews and stuff like that. But apart from that, we really didn't understand completely like what was
I
going
I feel like
on.
if that would happen right now, I would feel pressure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was
But
12.
back then,
I was
right.
in my own little world.
Yeah.
Just,
It's
I was
one-
like, oh,
yeah.
I get to play the drums now. Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just an opportunity to keep
Crazy.
doing what you were
Exactly.
already
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
In hindsight, it's like, damn. Okay. that was big.
But I love that you
Yeah.
said the pivotal point was when you started doing your own music. Because you
Yes.
realized you didn't want to be known as just a cover band, and creating your own music was really the key. So talk to me about early days of creating music. Where did you even begin? And was there sort of like artists you looked to sort of be inspired by or to emulate?
Okay. So first of all, the weird thing about this is that
Can you pause
we're
for a sec?
Mexican.
I just caught, you guys, tell me if anybody else caught this too. It's like that three sister telepathy that's going on right now where they all give each other cues, or I think that they can probably look. Just while Allison was asking the question, Pow was like, she did some sort of hand thing that she pointed to Danny when she knew what the question was. And it was like, yep, I got this. And that was so cool to see. I hope I'm not completely making this up, but let's see what you think.
Was
there
watch
sort of like artists you look to sort of be inspired by or to emulate?
Okay, so first of all, the weird thing about this is that
I hope I didn't just make that up.
But I love that you said the pivotal point was when you started doing your own music. Because you realized you didn't want to be known as just a cover band, and creating your own music was really the key. Yeah. So talk to me about early days of creating music. Where did you even begin? And was there sort of like artists you look to sort of be inspired by or to emulate?
Okay, so first of all, the weird thing about this is that, we're Mexican. We grew up speaking Spanish. That's
not
our
really. I
main
think it was
language.
more about not being a cover band.
But the first ever creations that we did was English songs. That's it. And I feel like that was a big thing in our starting releasing our own original music, because we had the attention of the Enter Sandman one. And now, like, since we were singing in English, people are like, oh, well, I can actually listen to this. But our first ever creations were very all over the place.
Like, we didn't have specific like influences that we were like, I want to sound like that. It was just like, let's write a song and let's see what comes out. And it was just, but it was like an exercise. We had a teacher. His name is Pablo Gonzalez, and he was Alice's bass teacher. But then he started teaching us like musicianship. And he was like, you should start writing. And we're like, sure.
And what does that mean exactly? Yeah.
So he really pushed us into start like exploring what we wanted to say or how we wanted to sound. And it was really fun because like I play the drums, right? But I also play the piano. But I write on the piano. But I remember like the first time just figuring out like, oh my God, I can use these chords and they're going to sound like this. And it was just like a whole new world was opened of possibilities that I had never thought that we could do before.
Yeah.
And it was just really fun. But we were still finding our footing like for the first years.
Which is so funny to me now because our first ever songs are actually out. We that our first
like
EP
is
there.
It's out.
You can hear our like tiny baby voices.
We
being
reacted
like,
to one of their first originals.
No.
Yeah.
I try to ignore it. It's like it's there.
It's there.
And it's cute. We started out with that. I'm not ashamed of it, but it's good.
Everyone
People
starts
can
somewhere.
stream it. Like they can sit down and say, I'm going to listen to that song. And it's just like, if
it's impressive. You guys were children. You were actual children creating your own music, writing your music, and playing your own music. I mean, I think that is so impressive. I hope you guys
say
feel
it like that. It just be like, oh, okay. But at the time, it was just like, it's what we knew like what to do. And we just really liked it. Okay,
Now, tell me about, like you said before, you call it the Sibling Magic, which I love. You know, I mean, how do you guys work together? Does someone come in with an idea, or do you just jam together?
No, it's weird. We do have this weird telepathy kind of thing that works a lot, especially in live shows. We would just be like, and we're like, okay,
that's incredible.
We know what needs to happen. But usually, up until right now, Pao is the one who like. On the piano, she just goes crazy and gets a lot of different chords, concepts, lyrics, and that's where we like, that's where we go from. Which is it's so funny if you think about it. Most of our songs start as a rock ballad on the piano, and then we just kind of like TheWarnify it in the actual instrument, and it's like.
It's weird. Like, it's a good process that we have.
Yeah.
And now that we're writing with other people, like, we realize how special it is. Because writing songs, it's like, I was going to say having babies, but that sounds weird. But it's like, it's your child. It's right there. And then you just hand it over for it to be, like, torn apart and then put back together. And it's...
it goes back to the vulnerability.
It's a heavy process. And with my sisters, like there's
Kill
no
your darlings.
sugarcoating it. Like we're working with other people. It's like maybe we can go around and do this. And they're like, I hate it. We're not going to do that. And it's just like, okay.
That sucks.
We know that it's like, it's nothing personal. like we can work with no strings attached and just like really get things done. And we do understand each other in a really special way. Like Danny, it doesn't matter if it's in English or in Spanish, but when we're working creatively, she says things.
That don't make sense.
She says words and it's a sentence, but
It doesn't make sense.
it's
Because you
not
have to have the
there.
Could be
cadence.
very incoherent.
Yeah.
And we're like, just like it just needs to sound
That's
like
normal.
guh. And we're like,
what does
what are you
mean?
talking about?
And then you fill in with real
After all
words.
these
That's how you
years,
write
just
the
to
song.
understand.
We know what good means now.
Aw,
Like, we
I love
understand
that.
each
so
other.
cool.
So now that we're working with other people, we
They're
just
not
take a
gonna get it.
second to like huddle up in Spanish and be like,
All right.
what are we doing? And then Danny says her like incoherent things and we make sense of it and then we communicate it to the other writers and then but it's a cool process because we ground each other. Like we keep each other humble. It's like, no, you're not gonna do that.
Of
That's
course.
not
Yeah.
cool. It's like a process.
You know, last year, Error, of course, was a massive moment for you guys on so many levels. You know, as artists, as musicians, as songwriters, as women. It's a phenomenal album. So I just want to say congratulations. It's really a culmination of all of the hard work. I mean, you guys are veteran musicians. I mean, to think of that, I mean, it's
feel
pretty.
so old.
No, but it's incredible that you are so young. Like when you finish the album, how old were all of you?
24.
Finished Error?
I was 20.
I was
Well, I turned 21
Yeah.
when we
in the mixing.
in the mixing.
So I was 18. And
So-
during the mixing I was 19.
Yes.
I was 15.
What?
Oh my
No,
god!
I'm
I always
kidding.
literally am calling you veterans, and you were literally 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I was 15.
You were 15.
She had a
Jesus Christ.
quinceañera.
Because man, pandemic years are so
That's
weird.
true.
That's true.
Right,
Pandemic
right?
years, it was like
Yeah.
dog years.
I
It's
don't
like
remember being
yeah.
that young.
I don't either. I don't either.
But I get it. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
But that album, I feel like to this
They
day
grew
has
up
made
so
the biggest
fast.
splash for you guys.
Yeah.
That's when you started really getting on festivals and incredible tours and amazing opportunities to open for bands like Foo Fighters and Muse, which I want to talk more about, and Sammy Hagar and all these things. Like, tell me what was going on for you, because you guys had been playing and honing your craft for so many years at this point. But this album was a turning point individually and also in your career. So tell me about this whole like point in your life and how it felt.
Well,
Okay.
I think first of all, it was a big shift in our band as a career because we had been an independent band for
Right.
the rest. I mean, all of it
The whole
up
time.
until right
The whole
now.
time.
So we signed with Lava Records and Republic Records in 2020. It was mid-pandemic.
Mid-pandemic. It was like
Mid-pandemic.
July, mid-pandemic.
It was
Wow.
a weird
July
timing,
time.
but like it was great for us, and we already had this album planned, and we were like, okay, we're now recording it with someone we had never worked with in an environment that we had never been in, because we are now like, okay, we're gonna have a producer who has a lot of experience.
David Benda.
David Benda.
Shout out David. Shout out Jason Flom. I remember when he told me
Yes.
about you guys, and I was like, oh hell yes. I'm very excited. Yeah.
So like we were going into stuff that we've been doing for our whole lives, but in a very different
Capacity.
context
Yeah.
and way. So we're just like, all right, let's
But it was like
learn
the
from
step
it.
to take. Like we were really excited about like, oh, it's the next level. That's what you would say. Like, okay, let's go. And it was mid-pandemic. It was weird, like the whole recording of it, but it was great. And we learned how to be musicians again. I don't know how to explain it, but we went to the David Benda boot camp, which we've talked with other bands about it, and they're like, yeah,
It's a
we're
thing.
like,
It's a
thing.
Tell me more about this boot camp.
Wow.
Yes.
What? Yeah.
It
What
was
is
just
this?
like during pre-pro,
Yeah.
like we thought we were really tight with our demos, and we were playing it for David, and David was like, "You're so out of time." And we're like, "Oh, what are you talking
What'd he
about?"
say?
He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna use my click,
They're out of time.
and you're gonna learn how to play with each other because you're playing individually. You're not playing as a band." And we're like, "What are you talking about, David?
What?
What do you mean?"
Yeah.
But after like the whole process, we went back to Monterrey, and we were starting to rehearse the songs.
Monterrey.
And we were like,
That process
we
was
played
so stressful.
horribly.
We played
I was like,
horribly.
I felt like a bad musician.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to drum. And then Ali and I would play together. Like we would just play together, her and I.
Yeah, we just
And
look
I
at each
would
other.
stare at Ali's fingers, and I would have to hit it at the same time as Ali was doing like
Or timing?
Yeah, like I
Playing.
remember we were so out of
It was-
time, and
was
we
grueling.
learned how to play again together.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
Wow,
But you know
Wow.
what?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
More than anything about timing or whatever, like the parts, we felt like we were playing like humans. Does that make
For the
sense?
first time.
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know
like
how to explain
you
it.
got so into what you were doing. It's like, I have to get it right or whatever, that you forgot to like groove, to be part of it, to be in the music.
Right.
And that is something that not a lot of people think about, that can be listened to. You know,
Yes.
like you
But it
can
does
feel
make
it.
such
You
a
can feel
huge
that in
difference.
an album when it's recorded with like feeling.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
instrumentation is one part of it, but the
Yes.
heart and soul is the,
the
other.
other.
It's the other part,
And
yes.
you have to have both.
Because it's very easy to lose yourself and want it to be perfect.
Yes.
Playing everything perfectly by yourself.
Yeah.
It was just an insane process.
It was.
But we didn't tour. It was the
I totally
pandemic.
can relate
when
Right.
to
the
what
album
they're
comes
saying.
out,
You can
It came out
pause.
2 years.
You can hear it because you feel like you've been through that before, and
Well,
You
just
get
in
it, or-
it's just in a different way. Like I just feel like, you know, when you were coming from like a progressive death metal type of thing, like especially on guitars or drums or anything like that, you have to pay attention. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes you can just rock out and jam, but you have to really focus on what you're playing. It's extremely fast and extremely precise.
sounds hard.
And now when you've got another bass player and another guitar player and a drummer, and you're all doing sometimes different things, sometimes the same things, and you're doing it at like super speeds, it's tough. So
it sounds tough. It feels like it would be really tough.
that's why like sometimes when I listen to like some of the new metal and like rock stuff like this, like I don't get envious, but it's like, man, I want to be in a band like that where I don't have to think so much about what I'm playing and I can just jam and rock out and feel good, you know? Because I mean, there's a balance. Yeah, I could sit there and go da 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 all over the guitar, but if I can do it in a simplified way
And you're
that
saying
suits music.
this distinction is because in your former progressive death metal band, it was all just the timing was
It's
fast,
just-
fast.
It's
whereas
fast, crazy,
The
time
Warning's
signatures.
more like
It's rock.
manageable rock. It's
Right.
not anything is fast, and it's like you can enjoy yourself more because
Right.
you're not.
So when you like take away the perfectionist part and you actually know your parts and you just get down, that's what she's talking about. Like there's that vibe that you can hear and it
Yeah.
just feels it, you know? And that's why it's like, man, I can relate to that because that's how I want to play now. It's
Yeah.
like I want to just jam and feel good and not have to be like all over the place on the guitar and no, you know?
Yeah.
So that's all.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
We
just
like
fun.
hearing this stuff.
Yeah,
Thank
know.
you.
Yeah.
Years after we recorded it.
Right.
It was just
right.
there. And it
Yeah.
was really weird because we couldn't do anything with it because we had to tour.
Wait,
and
let's go back a little bit.
It was just perfect.
Yes.
Playing everything perfectly by yourself.
Yeah.
It was just an insane process.
It was.
But we didn't tour. It was the pandemic. So then
Right.
the album comes out. It came out 2 years after we recorded it.
Right.
It was just
right.
there. And it
Yeah.
was really weird because we couldn't do anything with it.
You had time to
Because
lock
we had
it
to
in
tour
though.
with it. We had to promote it, but we couldn't. Everything was
Yeah,
closed
that's
down.
tough.
We canceled like 2 tours.
Man,
Two
to
tours.
to
Three
sit
tours.
there,
Brutal.
to sit there on an album for 2 years, that's got to be tough.
Especially your first like breakout album with this renowned producer and all of this evolution that and just like they said, it's like your baby.
Because also, not only are you just sitting on that, but I guarantee you're coming up with new ideas
Yeah.
and new songs, but you can't even play those
No.
yet because you got to get the first album out first.
Yeah.
2 years.
Wow.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, that would suck.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they've been.
You're
through a
kind of
lot.
like locked in, you know, and you can't do anything, you know, like now at live shows, I'm sure you can sprinkle in a new song here or there, but I mean, you're touring for that album. You got to play that album.
That's tough.
Ooh,
They've
that's
been through a
tough.
lot.
That's tough.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was our
We were so
first
bummed.
time. Like, it was
I
going to be our
bet.
first time headlining
The U.S.
like our tours in the
Yeah.
US, and then everything was canceled. But then 2022 came around and we started touring. It was our first time headlining in the US. It
like
was
our first show
Brutal.
ever, coming back from the pandemic was in Daytona.
Oops.
The
Oh my god, it was Welcome to
the
Rockville.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Rockville.
Rockville.
Yeah, that was like
Okay, it was
we're
a great-
coming back.
It was a great
It
experience.
was a great experience.
But
Yes.
it was such a wonky show. Like it was
Or
it was
for
our
us.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we were just like, what is going on? And we hadn't played
in
festivals
years.
in the US.
Ever.
It was like one of our first festivals here. And we were all just like,
We had so much fun though.
it was fun, but we were wonky. So now that
Like you felt rusty, like you
Yeah.
felt not
Like,
conditioned.
do I even
Yeah.
remember how to do
we're about
this
to play
in front of an
Rockville
audience?
again this
Yeah.
year, and we're like, thank God, because we can show the people they're like, we're cool. We swear that we're better now. But we started our headlining tour in the US in 2022,
Yes.
and it was like how many dates and how many days? Do you
It
know?
was like
We were there-
27 dates
And we
and
were
like
there for like 42
And, like-
days or something.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was
like-
That's, whoa.
very-
it was just at one after the other, and
Now
we
that
had
is boot camp.
no, we
that's
had
real
never
boot
toured
camp.
like that
Yeah.
before, and never also like in the US. It was like, oh, clavado, un clavado.
No,
How do you
I
say
have
that? It
no
was like
idea.
a
Like
deep
a
dive.
deep dive
yeah,
into-
and like
Yeah.
into cold water, like just, and it was like so many firsts for everyone,
that.
like not only us, but like in our team as well. But I'm really grateful that we had that because it was
Yes.
grueling and it was brutal.
Yes.
And every sense of the word, like
Now we can take on
emotionally,
anything.
physically.
Yeah.
And, like we survived that.
We did.
And then we started touring with Halestorm and the Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that
It was
because I
awesome.
love
It was
both
great.
bands.
It was
Zach
awesome.
Gibson.
So we felt really like nervous about it. We were like, we just toured by ourselves. Like maybe this tour is a bit easier because
we can
like
do
it's
it.
their tour and we're just here to support. But it's a really different switch opening for bands than like your headlining ones.
Right.
Because you have to prove not only like to the bands that are inviting you to play
That you
like,
were worth it.
Yeah, like
Right,
thank you for
right.
taking a chance on us, and also you have to convince everyone in the crowd like, look at me, listen to me, we're
Yes.
here, hello.
Yes.
And also, like, we're a Mexican band touring the US for the first time. We're trying to make a name for ourselves. So it was also like, we also have to prove that we can be a part of this country's industry as well. And just like, hey, listen to us. We have something to say.
Yes.
And most of it, we were just really trying to get people to have a good time for the
Yeah.
rest of the evening.
And like, prepare the crowd for like the bands that we're about to come up, like to hype them up.
hype them up,
So like the
yes.
Pretty Reckless and Hailstorm could have the best crowd ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Also,
good.
touring with
great
those two
tour.
bands, of course, they both
That's
have
great.
very strong, incredible, talented women. Talk to me about doing some festivals where you're one of the only female bands.
Oh, that's usually
And sometimes you have to prove yourself more, right? Because they're like, oh, it's TheWarning, it's an all-female band. That's cute, right? And then I'm sure once they
Whatever.
see you,
Who
they're
thinks
like,
that?
oh, wow.
I don't know.
that's
No.
usually
Doesn't
how.
seem-
Thankfully, that's usually
sounds like
how.
old
I mean,
Can you
school.
pause that for a second?
That doesn't sound like how people think
you know
these
what?
days.
I don't think so, but maybe part of it is getting Allison's bias based on her
Being a
life.
woman.
And I'm not sure how old she is, but she's older than the girls, right? So she perhaps is saying that, thinking about
She's had to fight.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping, like you said, I'm hoping that these days that's not as much the case. Fingers
Well,
crossed. I don't know.
You know what? That's
you know?
that's not true because I do still see comments on social media on different videos and people talking about oh, it's just because it's a woman, and sex sells and women frontmen, women frontmen, women
women.
front people or whatever,
Front women.
front women,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But I do see really stupid comments like that still.
There's idiots everywhere.
Well, yeah, and then they get shredded by everybody else in the
Good.
comments
I mean,
section.
sorry,
So,
my manners.
well, no, yeah, it is good because they're stupid, and that's just a very callous and ignorant thing to say. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they get shredded. That used to be me shredding them. I'm not going to do that anymore. But I do. I feel like I don't feel like it's like that as a whole anymore.
I hope it's not for them. I
Me
hope it's
too.
not. I hope that is an older mindset that's shifting.
Me
for them.
too. I mean, maybe it's my male privilege or whatever you want to call it that doesn't see that is still the case. But I certainly don't look at anything like that and think, oh, isn't that cute? They're all some of my favorite bands right now, like Hanavia, are
Yeah.
all women and they are destroying things. So I
Yeah.
don't think that way.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what you just said. I don't think that that's the case. I mean,
Right.
we're older than these gals, and
it doesn't feel like
It
it's like
doesn't
that.
feel at
So,
all. Yeah. Anyways, let us know what you guys think. This is not meant to be inflammatory. So
No,
please
not
don't
at
take it
all.
that way. I really,
It just saddens
you
me
know,
to hear that.
we want more for them.
Because it doesn't feel like it's really like that. I feel like the women bands get all kinds of support right now.
I don't know. We rally
know?
around. I mean, I hope for more for them for sure.
They wouldn't be having a headlining tour if that was the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they wouldn't be headlining. So
Right.
yeah. Anyways.
Put in a lot of work to like prove ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we do
Yeah.
have to go like above and beyond.
I mean, everyone has to do
considered,
that. Yes.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's always very, it's motivating in some sort of way, like to prove yourself every single time. Cause it like, there's a certain fire to it. Like we have to demonstrate that we've been working for a long time.
That's our motivation. When we go on stage, is like, first of all, let's have fun, because that's what we're here for.
Good.
And show
Right.
them that that's what a rock show is all about, you know?
Yeah.
So, like,
First
it's
and
not
foremost.
what gender you see on stage. It's just the music and how good it can make you feel. So we definitely go with that in our minds. And yes, it is a very satisfying
Satisfying
feeling to
Yeah.
just like people see what we can do and be able, they take us
So
into
sweet. She
account
jumps
for
in to
next
help
stuff
her.
because
It's
like,
been awesome
yeah.
to see like how our first festivals, like how we were treated at them. And it's not only like crowds, but it's also like staff and people around.
course,
yeah.
Like you
yeah.
have to prove like sound checks and stuff like that. You get treated pretty differently sometimes, and it's just
That
It's
jarring
not
to
bad,
see.
but they
That
just
I
don't
know.
think of
Yeah.
They don't think highly of you, so
Yeah.
they don't
Aw.
like put time or effort into.
Okay, I would like to talk more about this from someone who is very familiar professionally with that environment. What do you think she means by that? That is kind of like heart-wrenching to hear.
I mean, I'm not gonna, throw everybody under the bus, but I've worked with a lot of people, and I do see a lot of very just unhappy, grumpy people that it's unfortunate.
You
And-
mean the people responsible for the sound check?
Yeah.
Like who?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Aw.
And I think a lot of people feel like they know more than everybody else. And if you ask for a certain thing, they might not think that you know what you're talking about, and they'll be like, whatever, like just let me do my job because that's what you're paying me for. And I do see that kind of attitude in some things, not always, but you're always going to get that kind of thing. Now, and also about this whole sound check, especially when you're not like the main act.
Yeah.
We kind of had this talk. We just went to Philly to see Kim Dracula last week. And there were two opening bands, Tala and Jairus Johnson.
Right.
And they were both awesome.
Yeah.
But my God, the two, Tala and Jairus Johnson, it sounded terrible. And I felt so bad because I kept wondering, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know if it's the engineer or if it's the sound system. I don't know what's happening.
But to be clear, it wasn't them. It was the sound coming through the speakers. The actual.
It was the sound.
It was
Yeah.
the levels, not what
Yes.
they were producing.
Right.
With their,
They weren't,
yeah.
they were playing their thing, but the sound, that's why I'm saying I don't know if it was the engineer or the gear, but the sound was just terrible. And like, as a band, as somebody that's been in bands and toured and been a part of many, many shows, I do know that there is kind of like this, like almost like an unsaid rule where like the opening acts don't typically sound better than the headlining act. I don't know if that's for sure like an unsaid
Stupid.
rule, but I see this time and time again all the time.
I think it's stupid.
And then, so I'm sitting here watching these two acts. I'm just like, man, they're killing it, but they sound horrible. And I'm like, is it really just the venue? Like, does the venue sound this bad, or is this the engineer, and what is it? And then Kim Dracula came on, night and day, sounded amazing. It sounded like all the speakers were actually on. And it's like, why wasn't this like this for the first
We
acts?
really got to talking about it, like to the
Yeah.
point where we were at the venue looking at their sound system, looking at their front of house. We were standing right next to like the front of house setup or whatever you call that.
Front of house.
Yeah, it was like staggering how different it was.
Very different.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of normal. The opening acts aren't supposed to outshine the headliners.
So
but I
weird.
mean, it sounded so bad, like you couldn't even really tell what was going on sometimes. And then Kim Dracula comes on and everything sounds amazing.
And I was so, anyways, I know that this is not the
Yeah, we're
video
kinda
for
getting
this.
on a
I know, it's a whole thing.
Tangent
Yeah.
line. Anyways, I just relate. I get it. And we just saw that. And it's like, you know, when you're talking about sound engineers, sometimes they don't care, or, you know, sound checks, they don't care if you sound good. They don't get everything right. And as soon as you start playing, that's when they start to actually get things right. So by the time you're halfway through your set, then you start to sound okay. And I think that's what they might have experienced a little bit. I don't know, but that is definitely very real, and it's unfortunate.
I know. I think
I would try my best. Like if I'm working for anybody, I want them to sound the best.
Why would you? I don't understand that whole thing. That is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's
we're so protective of these girls.
Pretty differently sometimes, and it's just
It's
jarring
not
to
bad,
see.
but they just don't think of.
They don't think highly of you, so they don't like put time or effort into it.
Yeah.
But like
They don't understand who they're dealing with here.
it's just very fun to see and very gratifying to see, like, you step off of the stage and like the stage hands are like, that was.
And Guy, thank you for your donation and the coffees, because we love our coffee.
Thank you, Guy. Yeah, sorry.
An awesome
warning
show.
was-
You're like,
Yeah, that's great.
hell yeah. Okay. It was an awesome show.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
satisfying.
I mean, it's important for people
Yeah.
to realize that as soon as they see you, they understand this, but you're not female musicians or a female band. Like,
Right,
yes,
where-
you are, but you are just great rock stars. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Gender has nothing to do with it. You
Right.
know? I think just
Right.
because it's an anomaly, there's not so many female artists, all female bands, you know. And I think when you come out with this ferocity that you do.
Ferocity.
Oh my God, you guys.
I like that
Ferocity
word.
is the word I use to describe you guys.
Oh.
You know what it was? When I saw the choke video, I was literally like talking out loud. Like I was going like, yes. Yes. I mean, it's just so, you guys are
Wait, we haven't
amazing
seen that one.
musicians, yes,
did
but
choke.
performers.
Maybe
and
live.
you really do embody that heart and soul, that fire. I mean,
Thank
that video in
you.
particular, I love that video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sick
you're
was my
fierce.
song.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ferocious.
Yes,
I like
you know
it.
what?
I love
I
it.
actually get to work on that a lot, because sometimes when we write the songs, they're like pause feelings and everything that I have to like interpret. Interpret?
Yeah.
Interpretar.
Oh.
Interpret? I don't
Just,
feel
Is that the word? Interpret?
Yeah, interpret or have them relate to you, or
Right.
how they apply to you for
I
sure.
really try to
They're
make
so great.
it justice, because I know that it means a lot to whoever like wrote the initial feeling of it. So I try to like really go all
Embrace
out
it.
in that sense.
For
That's
sure.
great. Yes.
I mean, they might be your feelings or stories to begin with, but
Yeah.
everyone can relate to
Yeah.
them.
Right,
You
yeah.
know? I
Once
mean, they're
we,
very
like-
universal themes.
Yeah, once we do it as a band as well, it kind of just like sinks in, and we're like, we're expressing this. Let's go.
Let's
I
go.
love that.
Let's go.
I love that you guys are all connecting because, you know, rock music is not necessarily so popular and mainstream amongst young people, you know? So, of course, I get so excited when young people are like, you know, waving the flag. You know, what is it about rock
horns.
music that you're just like, what? This has nothing to do with age or gender. Just this speaks to me. Like, what is it that just ignites you?
Well, rock has always been a genre for like breaking down barriers and being
Rebellious.
like contracorriente.
Oh my God. You're all with the Spanish words.
Against the current, against the current. Like it's always something that was
Rebellious.
different and used to express so many things about rebellion and about feelings. So I feel like that really resonates with the youth all the time. It's a message that transcends time and gender and age.
How is she only
it's
20
just
years
cool to be
I
a part
know.
of it because
I know.
it resonated with us since we were
She
really
sounds
young.
so much
so
older.
to like be able to do it now, it's
Yeah.
And I feel like a big part of it is the energy.
The energy.
It's so much
just
energy.
like-
It's the energy.
It's so fun.
So it's that spirit.
It's such
the
a big
community,
release.
right?
Yes.
It's the community.
We're
community's
just like
awesome.
one big family. It's so crazy how you can see complete strangers enjoying a show, like
arm in arm.
in
Yeah.
in the middle of a
It's like the
mosh
metal
pit,
community.
taking care of each other. Like even like just to like stay hydrated, my friend. We have to like enjoy the rest of the
Yes.
festival. You know, like
You don't see the other
It's
genres
awesome.
acting like
I
that.
love that. What other sort of younger
Metal
or newer
does.
artists are you guys liking?
Ooh, all right. So we have a very like
She's ready to answer.
mixed music taste, which I think is cool because we get to experiment with a lot and bring it
Yeah.
back to rock.
Yeah.
But right now I'm listening to a lot of Maneskin. I haven't listened to the
Yes.
whole album.
A lot of
yet.
who?
Yes.
I haven't
they're
listened to it.
awesome.
I haven't listened to their new
They're
album.
Yes,
awesome.
but they're very cool.
Who?
I like
Yes.
Now I'm listening to a lot of Maneskin. I haven't listened to
Maneskin?
Maneskin?
I mean, this is a moment where I feel old because I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Well, Allison knows who it is.
Again, I don't know who this is.
Maneskin.
We need to look this up. I know we're going to probably get a ton of comments of people like, you don't know Maneskin.
Never heard of it.
We don't.
The whole album
Yeah.
yet.
Yes,
I haven't
they're
listened to it.
awesome.
Listened to their new
They're
album.
awesome.
But they're very cool.
I like Bad Flower.
I love that.
They're
They're
cool.
cool.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, I love
Don't
that.
know them either.
And have you connected with these bands? Like, do they
What
know
about
that you
Pal?
love them?
I know.
I mean, what about
that.
Ale?
No, they.
Okay.
I follow them on Instagram and they follow
Yeah.
me on Instagram. But it's just like from afar.
I will make all the
know that
connections because I love
We're
bringing
playing
the
at a
whole
festival
community together.
We are.
I don't know. We're playing various festivals this year. I don't
we
know.
both know of each other, but we've never actually
Met.
properly
Oh, I love
met.
Turnstile.
And
we're about to.
Turnstile.
Okay,
Oh,
we're about
so
to
good.
play
I don't
three
know them either.
the same three festivals as
I'm having a
them.
moment.
Yes.
And like, I just want to say hi.
Oh,
One
it's
time.
so great. I'm so
One
happy
time,
for
yeah.
them. They've been doing it for such a long time. They finally got
know.
their
They're great.
Grammy nominations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they're
Good
so
for them.
good.
They deserve all of it.
They're awesome.
That's
They're
so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Turnstile
know
sounds
about
familiar.
Mandy Bushell, the drummer from England?
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
I
of
feel
course,
like
of
you
course.
guys really
Yeah.
connect. I mean,
Yes.
she's amazing.
Nandi's
She's
awesome.
I mean, her
Yes.
first show was like playing Wembley with like Lenny Kravitz.
I saw it. I was just like,
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I mean, do
She
you feel like
is.
when you find out about these other artists, like you want to like connect with them or give advice or support? I feel like it's like
you know what? I feel it's more of like just to like say, hey, like we see you because like we started the
Yes.
same way,
Of
you know,
course.
and it's like
And
an
getting
internet
those
thing.
little like shout outs, you feel very supported and seen. Yeah. It just like really
Yes.
motivates you like, okay, let's go.
Because
Let's
at
keep
this
doing
point,
it.
I
Let's
think
keep
she
doing it.
probably knows more than we do.
Yeah, I know. I would have it from a shout out from her. Yeah.
Hi.
I want to talk now about Muse in particular
yes.
because you guys are massive Muse fans. You've
Like,
always
yeah.
been massive Muse fans, and your whole lives
I recorded
you've
them
been sort
once.
of manifesting
One time.
opening
was a
playing
fun
with
show.
Muse. And it finally happened.
It
And the video of you guys finding out that you were going to open for them
Oh.
is the most. It made me cry.
I cried.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was the most endearing, beautiful. I mean, it was sort of like a lesson for everyone that dreams do come true, and it's not a cliche because you guys are proof that it's true. And if you put the hard work and the
I
talent,
got chills.
but it's true. And I think that moment when you found out
Sweet.
you were going to open for Muse, like tell me more about that, and then I want to hear about actually playing with Muse.
Okay. Okay.
Let Ollie
We knew
talk.
that Muse was coming to play to Mexico, of course, because we were like, Ali already had tickets to
Yeah,
go with all of
okay.
her friends and everything.
Like you were just going to go as a fan.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
seen them
definitely.
many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
Aren't they one of the most incredible live
they're
bands?
just
period?
amazing.
Yeah,
They're
they're
so,
so good.
amazing.
It's insane,
But
right?
like we grew up with their music. We saw them
We did covers
Like,
of their songs.
all the time. It was just they were our idols.
are.
They
Yes.
still are.
which is okay. So we knew that they were going to Mexico, so we like usually just throw a pitch like, "Hey, we want to open for you."
Yeah.
And but
well, we go through the promoter. Like,
yeah.
it's
And
just
then
like-
the pitch arrives, and it's either yes or like, "Thank you, but no thank you." Right? But
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
we were all like, it was a thank you, but no thanks. They haven't said anything. It's a week until they arrive to Mexico and the tour starts.
Yeah.
And we're not opening for them. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And then it was a Wednesday.
yeah.
And we were having
Warning
to do
Wednesday.
promo. We were recording videos.
Yes.
And we were messing up on the videos, and we were frustrated on that. And then
Yeah.
Brady was like, "Okay,
So
we
we
have to
were in
record
such
it
a bad mood.
again." We were in a bad mood.
We were
If you
trying
see
to,
that
right.
video, we're all just like, "Okay, we have to do this again." Hi, we're the warning. And then Rudy's our manager.
Yeah.
Rudy's like, and you're opening for Muse in their Mexico dates. It was just like, oh my god, because we really thought like it wasn't gonna happen. It was a week until the concert.
Yeah.
It was like that doesn't happen. You see it months and
Wow.
months in advance, and so it was pretty late last minute.
Yeah.
I'm
But we
surprised
were
that they would
super
do
excited
that.
about it. I didn't feel like it was happening until the very day.
Because like
Yeah.
we
That's
had like
that
our
kinda
first
sucks.
show was gonna be until like
March.
March.
Like this
so we
year.
had nothing planned for this year. So it was suddenly like we're gonna play in a
have a
week.
show.
We have a
Oh
show.
my God.
And
We
our
had
first
4
show
shows.
of the year in our hometown
Stadium.
opening for Muse. So we were like,
No pressure.
No,
No big
no
deal, guys.
pressure.
No
Yeah.
big deal. Yeah.
And then we also played the Foro Sol, which is like
Yeah.
One of
the
the biggest-
biggest
one of the biggest
stadium in
stages.
our
in
country.
our country. It's in
Yeah.
Mexico City, and they sold out the first night. So it was like
Wow.
we played in front of 50,000 people opening for night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was
Talking about nerves. Like,
What
were
a
you
wow.
freaking
What a
out?
wow.
Like, what did you do to not freak out? Like, what were you doing to stay grounded?
We usually don't get that nervous for shows. It's just like, okay, we'll have fun. But it was like, we're opening for Muse.
in front of 50,000 people in the largest arena in our country.
It was just like,
yes, a lot at once.
big
okay. It was also really cold. It was just like
kinda
trying
cold.
to keep warm and just like being like, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be fine.
Breathe, yeah.
You've done this before, which is a crazy thought. Like, oh, you've played the stadium before. But it was just like, okay,
Right.
you just have to do the
Jeez,
best
you
job
played this
you
stadium
can do.
before.
Your
have
whole team
fun.
is here and they pulled through. We're going to have fun. We're going to be great. We're going to win over that crowd. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
But then you just look over to your side and you see Muse staring at you while you're playing. And you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Don't.
Yeah.
Playing.
But, and we got to
Yeah.
meet them the very first night.
yes.
Like after we
They
played
were
in
so
Monterrey.
nice.
Everyone's so
They're
the
the
nicest people.
Oh, it's
they
wonderful
invited us
hear.
to hang out post show, and we just like, really?
in the first show, and we're like, that's not a thing. Like usually it was our goal to say hello to them like by the fourth show, maybe get a
Maybe.
picture, like maybe. And then it was the
Opening
first
band?
night, and we're having drinks with them. And we're like,
After the show.
what is going on? What is going on? They're the nicest people.
They were
and we're
so
just
cool.
talking music with them and just like talking about life. And they were like, no, we saw your covers of us. And we're like, oh.
It's funny
Is
to
that
hear.
normal?
I mean, it depends. It depends on the acts, and which is kind of what I was getting at. Is it's funny to hear a side like this because this is not exactly what I've heard from people on the other side that don't get treated this nicely from
Oh, that's a bummer.
those bands that
Oh.
I'm just not gonna say, but
Yeah.
that's you know, they maybe there's something special, and these guys saw something because definitely don't treat everybody that way.
Well,
So
I'm glad that they got treated.
at
nice.
least they got that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Stop
Oh
it.
my God.
I was just like, oh my God.
That's the
It
best.
was beautiful.
amazing.
It was beautiful. And so we played 4 shows with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dun, 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 dun,
Like-
dun, dun. Okay, so
it's really weird because we haven't talked about this
no.
at all.
Ooh.
Let's talk about it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
what is this?
After the 4th show, we hung out again, and Matt just like casually comes over to our little table where we're just like hanging. And it was actually a very low table. He just like crouches us down and he's like,
I was like,
"Hey,
you
guys."
want a chair? He's like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like, he's just there, and he just casually goes like, "Hey, do you guys want to join us in our UK run?" And we're just like,
And like,
What
is going on?
and we're like, "Are you sure?" Like, really? He's like, "Yeah, it would be great to have you." And we're just like, "Of course, we would love that." But like, he said it so
like
casually,
nonchalant. It was like,
that we're just like, "Is he serious?" Or
true. And usually, like touring things, it has to go through so many people,
Of course.
for it to actually happen.
Of course.
So like, he's just saying it, like it's
right. So we just took it so
at
chill.
the end, like. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we'll see you in the UK." Like the whole
It was
team.
confirmed.
So,
So
it
it
was
was
like,
like
so it's
legit.
official?
So it's official. And we're like, what? So it's at the end of May and at the end of June.
Yeah, we're doing
It's
4
like 4
shows in the
dates.
UK. With
Oh
them.
my God. Let's go.
It's Muse and Royal
So cool.
Blood.
Oh, Royal Blood's awesome.
Yeah.
Greatest tour.
Yeah.
That is the greatest tour.
It's just, I still can't believe it. Like every time I just remember it.
I'm so
Look at Danny.
happy.
So stoked. Look at
I'm
her.
like crying.
I cried. It's beautiful.
You deserve it all.
Look
That's
at
so
that.
great. Killer tour.
And it's
Yes.
just like, okay, one thing, it's like opening for them in
Yes.
our country where it makes sense. Like we're a band there. And don't get me wrong, that was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
We didn't
Of course.
expect anything more than that. But it's like they liked us enough to be like, come to the UK. Like to
our
get
country.
to like it's
To-
like
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yes,
That is
huge.
it's
the ultimate
insane.
So happy for
compliment.
him.
it is. Where we
Do
feel
you,
really
Really?
honored.
do you feel, because you're so gracious and grateful, but do you feel like these moments where, you know what, like we belong, like we deserve it, like
You know,
how, like
It
feels
takes like
yeah. It's
we have to
sometimes
have
we don't believe
conversations
it.
about it. We're like, we worked really hard for this, and it's not
Yeah.
only with us, but
Yeah,
like
for our whole
after
team.
after the
Yeah.
whole after that dinner we had with Muse, our whole team, we were just in the hotel lobby, like,
we were like,
what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And then we started talking about like
Aw.
our whole journey to get
Yeah.
where we are as a team
and everything that happened in like that week.
in a week.
Right.
Our we did the 4 shows.
Our whole lives changed
yeah.
in a week. Our whole year, like the touring
paid
process
off.
was
Yeah.
just like from
We
one
had
day to
no
another.
idea
It just
our year was
changed.
gonna start like that.
So we
Not
do
even
take those
close.
moments to like ground ourselves and just be really thankful for each other.
They're so
and
good.
the
It's
work
beautiful,
and the
yeah.
sacrifice we have all
These girls
put
were
in.
raised right.
Good parents.
like,
yeah.
Man.
It's just amazing. Like I still
It
get
is.
like just
I know,
Yeah.
and to think it's even
Aw.
crazier to think that that's gonna be our first ever show in Europe.
And you're
Like,
it's gonna be
completely.
stadiums.
God.
It's gonna be Muse and Royal Blood.
Muse and Royal Blood.
Are you kidding me? It's the first time
we ever like literally still. I know.
But you have been putting in the work. This has been your life commitment.
Right.
You
Yes,
know?
it
I mean, the
has.
fact that you've had 10 years behind you and you guys are literally like, didn't you just turn 23?
Yeah, they
Happy
did.
birthday, belated, by the way. I mean, it's unbelievable. And also to think like
Jeez.
growing up in the public eye as musicians and artists and as women, I mean, that's not easy. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not.
been a
And
ride.
I'm glad that you guys have each other, which probably makes it easier.
Yes.
But it's still very difficult. Tell me about that. Has that been challenging to grow up and develop, you know, as women
Yeah.
in the public eye and on the road?
I feel like we've been very, I'm gonna say, sheltered in a way by our parents.
Yes,
Um,
they took care of us.
they
really well.
did,
No, it's
but
wonderful to hear.
like it is a thing. Everyone has opinions, especially about women in general. But like everything we do or don't do has some sort of criticism. Like, it has some sort of reaction.
I mean, that's life.
And it's exhausting to see
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a comparison. I see like people do what we do,
Right.
but they're not
Yeah.
women. And it doesn't have that sort of backlash that we do.
Right.
Yeah,
Like in our country when we tour, when it's so many things that we just take it as like, oh, that's how life is. And it's just like, it's for us.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a global experience. It's a women
But
experience.
you know what? I think you touched on a really important point for us that we have each other.
Yeah.
Because it was a big thing, especially growing up. Like, Ale had to like record an album when she was in 4th grade. So like,
Jesus.
yeah. So like, it was so weird because no one in her generation was going what she was going
course
through.
not.
So like,
That's very
course
isolating.
not.
we just
Yeah.
kind of like, well, we're in this together
Yeah,
type
it's-
thing.
It's very important. I feel like it has been very important that we have each other because even at like right now, our
Yeah.
friends like we go through so many different things that
Yes.
On the
on the
daily.
daily.
Yeah.
So it's really I feel like it has been really important that we have each other
Yes.
for like
'Cause
those
we
moments.
understand.
We
Of
understand
course.
each other.
We
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about like right now we have certain rules with like because we've had experience with growing up like with social media and just being like public. It's like you don't read comments. You
Yeah.
don't like you
They're not gonna add
you do your
anything.
job
Right.
and you're doing as best as you can and that's it. If you ask for
Love
people's
that.
opinions, great. You're asking for them. But if not, like just stay as far away as possible.
Yeah.
Because it can be like pretty damaging.
I mean, that's a good life hack that we should all pay
Yeah.
attention to.
Don't read the comments.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I get that, but I think you need to have a little bit thicker skin because look at all the love you get in comments too. You know what I mean? Like, those are your people. Those are people saying how much they love you and how much you mean to them.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to outweigh the hate. You know, the thing is, you got to go past the hate. You know, you got to see it and scroll past that. But to just not even deal with it,
You know, I suspect
I don't know.
when you get to be big like they are, they have someone that is helping share the good comments because, of course, they're going to connect with their audience somehow. Right?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that I've got somebody working for me to let me know what good comments are on social media. That doesn't sound.
I think that's a very
Realistic.
probably common thing. I think that probably gets packaged in a way such that it's like, look at what your audience is saying. And they don't.
Maybe occasionally.
They don't leave, they leave the mean ones out because why, to their point. But I
Yeah,
hope so. I
but
hope
then
they
again-
see all the good stuff.
Yeah, and then and you brought up a good point because I'm not thinking about how big they are, and they are very, very big.
Yeah.
And when you're very, very big, it's one thing to respond to comments, you know what I mean? But hopefully you could at least see what your people are saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're going to hear it when you're at a live show. You know, you're going to hear the crowd going crazy for you and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think you're missing out if you really just kind of push away everything that people are really saying about you. Because I've seen a lot of good things, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I bet they have their finger on the pulse somehow.
To each their own, but I just hope that they don't just completely not look at anything. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes criticism is a good thing, you know? Sometimes criticism makes you better, you know? So, I don't know. Depends.
Take that advice.
Don't do that.
You're right. It's not helpful. It's not constructive.
It's not healthy.
And we get to like listen through other people, like maybe in our management's like,
there you go.
Even if you're not reading the comments, know that there's a lot of people who are very happy with what you're doing. So like, even if we get that overall, like there's a lot of people who are so grateful for your music. We're like, that's all we need to hear.
That's all that matters.
Thank you.
And we do get like
think
that
you
a
should
lot.
see
Like
it
in meet and
yourself.
greets. To hear those stories, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
But, like,
once
to be
again,
But at meet and greets,
so-
we got to pay $400 just to tell you that.
okay, but you know who everybody knows about the social media suck, right? You pick up your phone and then 4 hours later and you watch some funny videos and you know, my point is they need to stay focused. They need to be able to have the information that they need and have people looking out for them and helping share. I suspect they go on their phones and they're scrolling a comment or two, but
I would
they're
hope
just
so.
in general staying away from any of the mean stuff. And I don't blame them. That's distracting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I bet they're seeing comments.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
Constantly like at it and looking for it. It can be pretty tight.
Yeah, that's toxic and not helpful.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
So the Muse tour.
Well, if you're looking
UK,
for it,
I'm
yeah.
still laughing because it's like unbelievable. I mean, even that's already like a lifelong dream. What would be sort of like the ultimate dream or the ultimate milestone or collaboration or?
To even like think
I don't know.
Beyond that, it's just like
I don't know. I feel like it still isn't real.
Yeah.
Right.
So like touring with Muse is still my dream.
Yeah.
So now it's just like we have to like set new goals. Like there's always things that we want to do, but I feel like now if we say something, we just bring it in and we manifest it, and hopefully like it comes true. Like it has happened so far.
Yeah.
So,
But definitely collaborations are on there. Like I feel like we haven't had that big of an experience with that because we're like, I don't know. We feel not that we're not worthy, but it's feel like how do we get to do that? I don't even. Yeah.
The thing that's weird is like our first collaboration ever was working with Alessia Cara for the.
Oh, that's right.
For the Metallica thing.
Yeah. So that was our first deep dive into it, and it was just like a huge thing. And we're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So like I'm afraid to think of
does one
something else.
collaborate?
Like what do you want to do? Like I'm asking you, like what do you want to do? Like what are you looking forward to?
Okay, like if we like shoot to the moon,
Yeah,
literally,
of course,
it would be actually like to write something with Muse. You know?
That'd be
Like,
awesome.
yeah. That'd
And
be great.
also,
But,
I feel like writing with other, like I would, like Willow.
oh my god,
God.
It's just really
Willow
cool to see
Smith?
like rock coming back.
I love Willow
And just
so
people that you
much.
would-
like
wouldn't
a big
expect.
women collaboration would
Yeah.
be
Or who's
amazing.
Willow?
I'm only guessing
Yes.
it's Willow
Like
Smith.
That'd be awesome.
full on.
Whoever wants to participate.
I love that.
You're
Put it
very
out there
welcome.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
manifest
Putting it out
this.
Just
there.
like
Yeah.
I love that
We
idea.
would love that.
yes.
But you're right. Artists like Willow are really putting it back up
Yeah.
and waving the flag. It's so
love
It's
exciting.
cool to
Willow.
see. It's cool to see because it brings more people in to what we love. So we get to share what we do with them. It just becomes like this bigger thing, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yep.
And it's just that sharing that musical connection, that energy, that spirit, that community. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So we do this thing on the show called Deep Cuts, where I'll ask you guys all a question. And okay. Should we go like this each time?
Oh.
Or which way should we go?
No,
Do
you know what? Let's do it from here to here.
No. Because Ali's really shy.
And we usually say the answers, and then Alice is like, "Oh, me too." Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that.
So they're gonna make her go
so we can-
first.
Don't worry, they're not tough. They're not
Okay.
tough questions.
Okay.
They're just like personal. Okay.
Okay.
What is the square root
Name
of
a song,
75?
album, or artist that changed your life.
Honestly, I would say Muse, like the Second Law.
Oh, great.
Really, like
yeah.
I feel like that was like the first album I actually like listened to like fully. like the whole album. So I would say Second Law by Muse. Yeah.
Isn't that a thing to listen to an album in its entirety?
Yeah.
It's such a thing, an
it's a thing.
experience that can't be described.
Yeah.
Like knowing an album,
Yeah.
right?
Knowing an album. Okay. Go get it.
Me, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Computer.
Radiohead.
Oh,
Great
Radiohead.
choice.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew
It's
you were
been
gonna say
very
that.
recent. It was last year. I don't know why. Like I don't know why I had never listened to it, but I listened to it and I was just like tears.
Yes.
Just like what a great album.
It's amazing.
It doesn't matter when you discover a great album. It's just that you discover it.
Exactly.
Whenever it is for you is the right time.
Definitely. And okay, so I'm going to pick a song because like it literally changed my life when my dad would play the Pulse tour, Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb Live. Literally changed something within my
David
soul.
Gilmour.
There was something there.
It was something there. The
Hell yeah,
whole
Danny.
thing, you know, it was just wow.
Aw.
Isn't that incredible? The power of just hearing.
How about you? What's an artist and album that has changed your life?
You know, I got to go old school. I'm going to say Boston. And I don't know what the name of the album is. It was the one with the spaceship, you know, like
I don't know. I never listened to
I
it.
don't know, but I grew up. My
What's
mom,
a song from it?
More Than a Feeling.
Okay.
Amanda, not Don't Stop Believing, but
yeah.
anyways, I
Yeah,
named two. That's an accomplishment for me. I grew up with my mom listening to classic rock like Def Leppard, Boston, all these amazing. Queen, Pink Floyd, Electric Light Orchestra. So Boston, for some reason, was one that at a very young age stuck. I love. In fact, I want to hear some more lately, but that would be mine. How about you?
That's awesome.
But I'm not a musician, so it's not like I can
don't
answer
have
it in
to
the
be a
same way.
musician.
One album that stuck with me throughout my life that will always be important to me is that Boston album.
See, that's all that matters.
How about you?
I would have to go with the first Korn album.
Okay.
Yeah, because that one
Is that the one with a, Are You Ready?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was like the first.
Yeah, that's the first Korn album.
Okay.
And that pretty much sent me, that's where I started. I was like, okay, we need to be in a band. We watched their home video and we were like, oh my God, this looks like so much fun. And I was like, I'll play guitar. And Benji was like, I'll play drums. Eric was like, I'll play bass. Like we all just picked what we wanted and then we got instruments and then we just started playing. And so that is what started me in metal and playing guitar and playing 7-string low guitars and stuff.
Wow.
So that was, that one. I just love hearing this.
Yeah.
Even a song. Like you said, it like gets inside of you and it's part
changes
of you.
everything.
changed,
It changes.
like, your
You know,
chemical-
the thing that most like impacted me is like at the ending of the song, he's just like soloing on the guitar, and I'm feeling so many things. He's not even saying anything. It's just it
Like
hits
he's saying
so
so
he's
much.
saying so much. Oh,
These guys,
man.
great answers.
Yeah.
That's
Great
awesome.
start. Okay.
All right.
That's awesome.
What was your first concert? And maybe you guys were all together.
Oh, we were.
Okay, so
It's funny.
so it was Maroon 5, wasn't it?
was Maroon 5.
We saw
Maroon
Maroon
5.
5 in Monterrey, but how old was I?
Wait,
I think it was 2010.
It was
dude.
overexposed.
It was the Overexposed tour.
Let
Yeah.
me look at
So-
the year, and that was the year we saw them.
But
We were
our
pretty
first
young.
rock concert, like, well, it was Kiss.
Was Kiss.
Oh,
Kids.
it's incredible.
Which was great as well.
That's probably why they got
It was awesome.
Wait,
And
I
even
want-
seeing your first live music, like seeing Maroon 5 or whoever it is, it's
it
pretty
was great.
It was
transformative.
2012.
It was
2012.
amazing.
It was
2012.
You were
Jeez.
12. I was 10. You were 7.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
It was
It was,
great.
it was so
It was
fun.
so fun. It
It
was
was
so
a
fun.
good first concert. Like, it was just.
That's
It
a
was
great
great.
first
Jumping-
concert,
yeah,
for
it was cute.
sure.
And we would like literally play the album over and over again. So
Just
we
to
would like
learn
be
everything.
prepared.
Yeah.
Go.
You guys are so committed. I love
All right, you. What was your first concert?
Oh my gosh. Damn Yankees. My mom took me. Oh
Damn
no.
Yankees.
That may have been my second. She took me to New Kids on the Block.
Hanging to oh.
Yep. That was my jam back then.
I remember that.
Not anymore.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
You?
Mine was my first ever. My mom took me to see Celine Dion and Michael Bolton.
Okay, now I would never have picked that in a million years.
But my first real concert where it was like my music, where I went, was Deftones opening up for White Zombie opening up for Pantera.
Okay, now that's much better, I will have to
Yes.
say. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so my people.
It was looking up the set lists and just like
Yes.
learning
I love
everything.
that. I'm the same way. Yeah, we're the
Me
same.
too.
It makes
I
a
love
difference.
It does make a difference.
Totally makes a difference.
What is your favorite movie?
The Batman. movie, the
Dark
what's it
Knight.
called? The Dark Knight. The
Dark
Dark Knight.
Knight,
I saw
Okay.
it recently. Like I
Wow.
literally saw it like a week ago. I love that movie so much.
Is that the one with the
I
face
don't know
guy? Where at the end
Dark Knight.
he gets blown up and then this shit gets
No,
blown up in the
I
building.
think that's the one with Heath Ledger as the Joker,
Yeah, okay.
where he like puts the pencil and does the magic trick and makes that dude's eye like smashes his head into the pen. Brutal.
But not
It's a great
that's not the
choice.
one.
Yeah.
Great
That
choice.
one.
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm
I
gonna
think.
say 2.
You
Inception.
better be thinking about it.
Matrix and Inception
Inception,
are really
yeah.
good movies, but that was not gonna be my answer.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm gonna. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, The Matrix. Okay, but my other favorite movie that just like
Matrix.
Ponyo.
Ponyo. Ponyo is such a good movie. It
It's-
is.
it's a Studio
It warms
Ghibli
my
movie.
heart. I
don't
watch
know
it
what
every
that
night to
is.
fall asleep because it brings me
I
so
don't
much
know.
like
Ponyo.
Peace. That's
Yes.
I
wonderful.
adore it. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna say Lord of the Rings because like
Nice.
the soundtrack just
Oh, that's
kinda,
great,
like,
that's great.
yes. And one movie that I have to religiously watch every year. It doesn't like go with me at all, but it's The Sound of Music.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
We
I
all
watch
have
it
our things.
I
every
would
year.
have
But it
never
it
thought
becomes
I
like
like that.
a thing. It's like
It does.
we just hear the sound and you're like,
And we're
Danny's
like,
watching The Sound of Music again.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's like, how many times have you seen this movie?
I
Like,
don't
yeah,
know. I've seen them out. Like it's more times that you should
Like
see
I
it.
know it all. Yep.
Is something like something trigger you to have to go see it, or is just like a part of like, oh, it's time to watch it?
You know, I think it is a trigger sometimes. I would just like feel the necessity of like the hills are alive. It was I need to have that is incredible.
They're alive.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm dying.
She had her face with the sound of music.
What is your?
Okay.
great.
So what's your favorite movie?
I don't know. Maverick and Still Magnolias.
Womp womp.
What's wrong with my two?
No, it's because you just didn't want to do it.
Because that's so hard. I like so many. I don't know.
It is hard. I know. Believe me, I know.
And yours?
It is really hard. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan and Top Gun. So
Yeah.
between those, I don't know. Star Wars has to probably be at the top. Goonies.
Oh, Goonies. Yeah, see, I hate this
Oh,
question. I don't like to be
yeah.
boxed into 2 answers.
I'm going to
No.
stick with Star Wars for me just because that just Star Wars.
Yeah. Not surprised.
All of them.
Mhm.
Your favorite meal or cuisine?
Favorite meal.
Mexican. Yeah.
wait,
Mexican
I
food.
goes
I'm
first.
sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine.
I'm sorry.
So excited. So
Yeah,
excited.
but honestly,
Passionate.
same. Like any type of taco in Mexico,
Same.
In Mexico.
is the best thing ever. Or like my
Cabeza?
mom's like homemade meals. Those are
yeah.
She
always
said no.
Sopa de tortilla.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Tortilla soup. I
Yes.
don't know.
Yep.
Yes.
With the lime.
I don't care. No, it has to be good. Like
Yeah,
there's some
it does
pretty
have to
bad
be-
ones.
It does have to
Yeah.
be good,
But nothing warms my soul after like usually when we're like doing media in Mexico or touring or whatever, you just arrive to the hotel and you order a sopa de tortilla. You just eat that. Oh my god.
yeah, when you're
Yep.
really tired.
So comforting.
Yeah,
It is
It's
so
just-
comforting. Yeah, I'm
love
gonna
it.
go with a snack version, but a good elote is let's
Street
go.
corn.
Street
Yes,
corn.
Oh my
so
God.
good.
It's so good.
I love
Okay.
that we're
But, like,
representing.
Mexican, you're representing.
It's the best
Yeah,
cuisine.
right.
Like it's just
It is the best.
It just
It is
is.
the best.
Yeah.
It's funny because they're Mexican and their favorite foods are Mexican.
Yeah.
For us, it's completely different. Ninja, she's gonna pick tacos.
Of course. In Mexico.
All day
preferably.
long, she's
Mhm.
gonna pick tacos.
Of course. Yep.
You know, and I think that's hilarious, you know? Not hilarious, but it's like, what do we have as Americans that are just straight up American food that would be like a favorite?
Burgers,
fried
ribs,
chicken,
fried chicken.
barbecue.
Yeah.
But see that, like all cultures have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do we have? Other hot dogs. Y'all ain't got hot dogs.
No, there's more than hot dogs. For goodness sakes. There's whole shows and everything else.
I'd have to go with pizza myself. I think some good pizza.
I want to go with you guys to eat all
To
of
Mexico.
these.
Of
Yes,
course.
I do.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
very
Yes.
much invited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anytime
thank
you're.
you.
Thank you, Danny.
Okay,
Let's
it's
go.
happening. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
And it's just like
I never know how to answer this question because I really don't know.
Yeah, you're a musician.
What's
through
your
and through.
identity? You were never not a musician in your
so
life.
It's existential.
I
at
have
one
no
point.
idea. Like, I actually have no idea
Okay,
what
but
I
since
would be.
I know, I'm gonna go ahead and answer.
Yeah, you can answer.
I would definitely be
teacher.
a music teacher.
I love that.
Yeah,
you
she'd be a great
are
teacher.
good teacher.
Yeah.
Great
I
teacher.
love teaching, even though, like, even if maybe I don't know everything in the world, but I think it's part of it, you know, sharing what you do know and
Yes.
kind of like figuring out. And I think it's a very much like teach and learn from whoever you're
course.
like.
That's
I love
great.
that like mix of
And you can always
information
learn
and just like
as
of
you go.
passion that goes around. I love it. I would love to be
I
a
wish
teacher.
I was like that. I'm a horrible teacher.
Yeah,
I wish I could do that.
She is. She tried to teach me like
She is a terrible teacher.
Yeah, she is a
Like,
bad
it's-
teacher.
it's-
Wait, I'm dying.
It's just a thing.
terrible teacher.
But it's not like I'm mean. I'm just like
just not good at
you're
it.
not doing it correctly.
Like, help me. But that doesn't
play.
show you how.
She's
I don't know
blunt.
how.
That's
You're
all.
good at it. You can't
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. That's me.
That is amazing.
If I had to do something besides music, I would be a writer. Like
yeah, like a book writer.
yeah,
Yeah, I
a
got it.
novel
A
writer.
novel,
An
right?
author.
Yeah, it has to be something creative. I can't. I don't imagine myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe. Ooh, I could be an actress. Ooh. I don't know how to act. It's a joke. We're pretty bad at acting. But maybe one day if we practice well enough. But no, I would be a
Okay.
writer.
It's
Or
really cool.
like a producer, like something within music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Just
within
not a
music.
teacher.
It's hard to like.
Just not a teacher.
Not a teacher. Yeah. Something within music, I feel like.
You could be a model.
No.
You could.
We always hyper up on her looks because, like,
But I don't feel like.
Aw.
You're tall.
I'm not tall enough.
Lie.
No, that's not a lie. But either way, I,
I love
really have no
witnessing
idea.
the sisterly love. It's the
Yeah, I
best.
really
It's
have
the
no idea.
best.
No, but
They're
That's
sweet.
so sweet,
yeah,
right?
But anyway.
Okay, if you could meet
Aw.
any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
Goodness.
Okay.
Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. It was just like when I was
Let's go.
young,
I
loved
love
Michael
that.
Jackson. I was
She
like, Michael
had
Jackson.
a birthday party that was.
Oh, no, I wanted it to
It was
be-
Hannah Montana.
It was
themed.
Hannah Montana, but I wanted it to be like Michael Jackson theme, but we didn't find.
My,
Like, my
mom
parents
was
were
just
looking
like,
for like.
there's no Michael Jackson pinata
Yeah.
anywhere.
For a Michael Jackson pinata.
Well, in Mexico, like the birthday
That's
parties,
incredible.
you have a
You have,
piñata.
yeah,
Right,
like, you
of
are
course.
Period.
too. So yeah, I don't know why I like Michael Jackson.
Shakira. I love
Oh,
Shakira.
yeah.
I love her.
Nice.
If I would no, but I'm also like I don't want to meet her because I would be so nervous and that would be really embarrassing for me. I have another answer.
I would love to meet Marina. I'm so sorry.
Marina
Chocolate.
from the Diamonds? Yeah.
Marina.
From who?
Marina Diamonds.
And the diamonds.
Wait, I just want to defend myself. I'm the OG
Yeah,
fan.
you are.
I used to listen to her in middle school.
Yeah, she's awesome.
My English just messed up.
And I feel like if I could just like sit down and have breakfast with Prince, it would be like a whole different. It would be like I wouldn't even know what to
Wow.
expect,
Yeah.
and that's what's fun about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Danny is like such an old soul.
I know, right?
She wants to sit down with Prince. She watches The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
David Gilmour, Comfortably Numb.
Yep.
She is an old soul.
I think about I wonder if she's a daddy's girl, right? Like I can envision her parents who love music and the dad rocking out and like her before all the two other sisters are born, and she was indoctrinated into this life much earlier. So this old soul, I think, has something to do with the fact as the oldest
Yeah.
sister and just
Yeah,
more time
yeah.
with her dad. Yeah.
Oh man,
I would be
But,
scared
like,
to
yeah.
meet all these people.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of don't want to meet
Definitely.
them,
Same.
but
Mhm.
you never
Although
know.
you met Muse and that worked out.
No,
Exactly.
yeah. That was nerve wracking. I can't believe
It
we did
was.
that.
I don't. Yeah.
Amazing.
What is the most valuable advice that someone gave to you?
I can start.
Yeah. Go get
Okay.
it. Go get it.
This
love
it's
that we're like-
really
I love
really simple advice. But our sound engineer Lalo, who I love very much and I miss very much, we haven't seen him in a while because we haven't been touring. But he said to me, "Just have fun."
Yeah.
He was just- advice.
Diviértete, Paola. I started crying when he said that. I'm like, "You're so right, Lalo. I just need to have fun."
Yeah.
It's something along those lines, but like try to like enjoy the little things in life because sometimes you take
It
them
just
for
goes
granted,
by.
Yes.
and sometimes
in our
that's
jobs, it's so
and sometimes
important.
that's what you need the most. You know,
Yeah.
to like really appreciate the small things that make you happy. Because like when you're on tour and you're not home and anything, like you start to appreciate a lot of things a lot more. So yeah.
Yes.
And
That's
I
great
have
advice.
two. One of them is do not worry about things you cannot control.
Yeah, that's a
like
great
you
one.
cannot. So why have
Like,
them
let it
in
affect
your
you.
system?
Yeah.
And two, it's not a burden to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Because you are going to live with yourself. Like, you have to be your own thing. You are like your buddy for the rest of your life. It's not a waste of time or a
An
burden
afterthought.
Yeah.
to really work on being happy with yourself. Yeah.
I'm
That
taking
feels
notes
like such
here.
a new
I'm just
concept.
Absolutely right.
I'm like,
You know what I mean? Like, if like back when we were their age or younger, that's probably not something that we would say.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Because you had to just work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not yourself, and it wasn't okay to be sad or messed up. Like
Yeah.
when we were coming up. So it's great that that's like what it is.
I know.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
that people these days can feel that and,
Sure.
and know that it's okay to be not okay and to take care of yourself. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
So wise.
Yes,
I love that.
that's very nice.
It is. It's so true.
Yeah, and
It's
you're
so
right.
true.
especially like in our line of work, I feel like taking care of yourself sometimes feels like not important. There's so many things that feel bigger than that.
And you know,
And it's
with
really
any
important.
type
Yeah.
of work,
Yeah.
I get how like you have to work, you have to get this done, you have to like, but wait a second, like
You have to be good
you
yourself
have
to be
to,
able
like-
to do that. Yeah,
yes, and it will benefit you. You
Yeah.
will
Right.
work better.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
You're
What a slave.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
This is such an
Who
old
is
soul.
your role
Yeah.
model?
Oh, I think we
Dad.
have like the same answer,
do we
but
all?
it's okay. Maybe not. Okay,
Like,
maybe
I'm
not.
really scared.
Yeah, okay,
Because
let's
I
go.
don't have a creative answer. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say like you guys are.
I was gonna say,
I was
like,
gonna say my family,
my family.
like my
Your
family.
family, yeah,
Same thing.
okay.
Because like when I fail at some
You know the
things,
mom's crying.
they're not failing at them. So it's an example of like what I can do.
Yeah, we always like
We
learn
just,
from
like,
each because
from
like,
each
we
other.
have things that obviously like some of us are better at other things, so we can learn from each other, which is really nice. You know, to
And
have
you
that.
know, I feel like it's grounding because no idol, whoever is perfect. Like we're all human,
Right.
So it's
And
just
we've
like
seen
I feel
like,
like
horrible sides of each other.
Yeah.
we know the good and the bad.
Keeping it real.
so I
We know
feel
the good
like
and the bad.
Yeah.
we can appreciate.
And even with the good and the bad, how we handle those good and bads are inspiring.
Let's go, girls.
Just-
We're,
I
we're
love
too
it.
far away.
I love that. And the unconditional love.
Aw.
Knowing
Yeah.
all of the bad things
Yeah.
also is important.
Let's go.
That was the best, guys.
This feels like a therapy session.
It is.
It is.
Beautiful.
Okay. What is something fans would be surprised to learn about you?
No, that I diamond paint.
What?
Yeah, well, I do that as well.
that
but I have
mean?
no idea.
Diamond paint.
When I need a distresser, I'm just like,
It's so relaxing.
let's just go and
It's
put
just
little
one by
diamonds
one,
on paper.
just-
Do you want to say something that people
I
wouldn't know
see.
about me?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I'm lost.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like I share everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
you
actually.
do.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know.
Come on.
That you're into finances.
Okay. Yeah, that is something people don't know about me. Okay. So
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love finance. Okay, more
Yeah.
than anything, I'm really into like, it's gonna sound weird, like corruption. I like learning about it. I like watching like docuseries about
Yes.
it. And I love taxes and like Wall Street.
Which
I just
Oh my
love,
gosh,
ever.
she's an anomaly.
I love
I'm
learning
surprised
about
your favorite
it.
movie wasn't like Wolf of Wall Street or something. Yeah.
No, but I really want to like at one point in my life
Just know how it
study
works.
finance.
Yeah.
So like no one like can screw me over with my taxes. I'm just gonna know what. No, like it's. I'm gonna.
From
I'm gonna
20-year-olds.
like.
You can take care of it.
I'm gonna like give advice on what to invest, what not to invest.
let's
I'm
go.
gonna be amazing
it.
at it. Yes, I love
love that I
finance.
These
answered
ladies
for
are
you.
so
Maybe
good.
this
This
is
would
what
have
you
been
could
her
have been instead of being a
alternate career.
musician.
Right.
You could have been like
Yeah.
an accountant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think
Exactly.
accounting is so cool. I'm just gonna say
That's
that.
really cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
The
All right.
accountant.
I have no idea. Help me out here.
Let me think about it as well. Okay, she would definitely be the one who survives the zombie apocalypse out of all of us.
Would I?
Wow.
No, because I feel like she doesn't agree with this. She's so resourceful though. Like if we have
she is
no
resourceful.
GPS, she knows where to go. Though.
I was
wow.
really good with directions.
Direction.
Yes.
She's
Great with
internal
maps.
compass.
Yes,
Yeah, great with
navigation.
maps.
amazing.
That's it. Let's
That's
go.
it.
There we go.
It came in really handy when we were at Disney.
Okay, we're alone for the first time in Disney World. Like my parents weren't with us for the first time in our lives, and we had the map.
But
We
here's
were
the thing,
so
I
lost.
don't think I'm good with maps. You're just really bad with maps. I'm like, how can you mess up a map? You
They're
have
just
it
really
right
bad.
there.
She's good with maps.
Like,
Yeah, she's good with navigation.
talent. That's a good
Hey,
talent.
Yeah.
We found it.
We found it. Well, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are the best. You deserve everything that's coming your way because you made it happen.
Hell
you
yeah.
really did. I hope you guys recognize that.
Thank
Oh,
you.
You guys are
thanks.
making it all
Thank you.
happen.
We're definitely gonna give everything we got in the
This is
next
gonna be a
coming
great
thing.
year.
Yes,
It's gonna be a great year.
Let's
Good
go.
year.
Let's go.
It's going to be a great year. Thank you. The warning.
Warning. Yeah.
Man,
Woo. Power sesh.
definitely a power session. Hopefully you
Wowee.
guys are still with us
My
on that
ears
one.
hurt after that one, but not in a bad way. I mean,
No,
just from
it
the
was-
earphones. Yeah.
This was just awesome to hear all the stuff behind the scenes
I
that we
know.
have no idea about, and to get to learn a little bit about these ladies,
I
you know?
I do know. And honestly, I think the best part for me was exactly that. Just being able to hear them conversing. It wasn't awkward. Allison did a masterful job of making them feel comfortable. She asked some good questions. We talked throughout, so I don't want to like rehash all the same stuff here, but it was just really great in general to get to know them more as individuals and see their dynamic live. That was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
Yeah.
I loved hearing all those things about
Yeah.
like Danny and the Sound of Music and stuff. Like, it's crazy. You would never never know that stuff. So
Yeah.
this was a blast, and hopefully you guys also had a blast. And if you did, please let us know by hitting that thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button.
Thank
It
you.
really means a lot to us.
And thanks again, Guy, for the donation.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And we're going to get on out of here, and we will see y'all soon, my friends.
Peace.
Peace.